Compare two groups by looking at both a typical value and the variation around it.
When we set out to compare two distinct populations, we are looking for a reliable way to measure how they differ. The common instinct is to look straight at the typical value of each group. We find the center, the average, and we measure the distance between those 2 points. But stopping at the center leaves the picture incomplete. Relying on a single typical value can easily mislead us, masking what is actually happening within the groups. To see the full reality, we have to look at internal variation. We have to measure the spread. In any natural population, individual data points stray from their center. They drift, cluster, and disperse in their own patterns. A meaningful comparison requires us to evaluate both things at once. We must identify the typical value, and we must measure exactly how much those individual values vary. Without an exact measure of that spread, comparing centers leaves us blind to the true nature of the data. Consider a scenario where we examine two samples by calculating their means and their mean absolute deviations. Suppose our first random sample has a mean of 12 and a mean absolute deviation of 2. We pull a second sample. This one gives us a mean of 18 with a mean absolute deviation of 3. The mathematical difference between these two means is exactly 6. We weigh that difference of 6 against the internal spreads. It is 3 times as large as the first spread measure and 2 times as large as the second. Because the mathematical distance between the centers outscales the internal variations by such a wide margin, these two groups appear meaningfully separated. Now we look at a different situation, this time measuring the samples by finding their medians and interquartile ranges. Here, the central values are close. The first sample has a median of 15, and the second has a median of 16. On the surface, we see a clean 1-unit difference between the two centers, but the context changes when we check the spread. The interquartile ranges of these two samples overlap broadly. That single unit of distance between the medians is tiny compared to the heavy variation occurring inside each group. The broad overlap in the spreads drowns out the minor shift in the medians, rendering that 1-unit difference mathematically insignificant. Knowing whether to use the mean or the median depends entirely on auditing the shape of the data before we begin. We first check if the data distributes in a roughly symmetric pattern, without any strong outliers pulling at the edges. For these symmetric distributions, means and mean absolute deviations work well as our paired tools of choice. But often, data is skewed, trailing off in one direction, or it contains extreme values that break the symmetry. When dealing with skewed data or extreme values, medians and interquartile ranges offer a much clearer read on the population. A numerical comparison holds no meaning in a vacuum. Every statistical conclusion we draw has to remain strictly tied to the original samples and the physical reality they represent. A sound conclusion clearly describes which specific group tends to hold the larger values, and it explicitly determines whether that difference is genuinely large or small relative to the spread we observed. Compare the center, compare the variability, and explain the difference in context.
Hazel keeps the conclusion informal and tied to the samples that were observed.